Hello.
Right, Steve.
Hello.
How's it going, people? I'm on my new
Good, how are
phone,
you?
so I'm all right. I'm just,
Right, question for you, right off the bat. What TV show did David Dickinson host? We can't remember.
Bargain Hunt.
Ah, that's it. Oh, she goes Antiques Roadshow. I said it
He
was
definitely
Antiques
did.
Roadshow. He used to say cheap as chips. You wouldn't get away with that on the Antiques Roadshow.
No. Bargain Hunt, yeah.
Yeah, bargain hunt. And then we couldn't think of Roy Walker's name for catchphrase.
Catchphrase, yeah.
She can't remember Blockbusters. She's got no recollection of it.
Bob
No.
Holness, Blockbusters. Oh,
Bob Holness, that's it.
the guy.
Yeah.
I'm old in news.
We've been keeping ourselves entertained.
You're that much older, though, are you?
Yeah, I'm 46 now.
Oh, all right.
Just
Fair
turned
enough.
46,
I just
like.
turned 40 in May.
Yeah, got a couple of years on you.
You're getting up there now, though, Steve.
I know, wait. How are you guys anyway? Good?
Yeah, not bad. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's. I mean, as you know, I'm in Nova Scotia, so it's red hot at the moment.
All right,
Swelter.
good. It's warm here today. It's warm here.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's not been bad. Yeah.
Well, we got to have a bit of weather banter, haven't we, before we get started? Like,
Yeah.
like being in a taxi, isn't it? It's what you talk to the taxi driver about.
I know, yeah. Yeah, it's small talk.
Exactly, yeah. So honestly, thanks for doing this. Like, it means a lot. It's only took us 4 years to get you on, like, but
I know, yeah. It's just... Sorry, do you want to message you? I messaged you back yesterday. I looked at your message saying, Steve, will you do my podcast? And I looked at the date and it was February 2020. And I was like, ooh. Didn't get back. It's been a while.
the thing is, though, when I was aware that you hadn't even seen the message because I went to message you first and it said sent and didn't say read. Now, and it's pointless me asking him again here because he hasn't even read the first one. That's when I went to the Last Arcade page and asked her.
Oh, yeah.
They passed the message on to you. So anyway, we've got you now.
Cool.
So the Last Arcade, just tell us a little bit about that because I was a fan of when you were in 10 Reasons. Which I don't know if you remember, but when I met you in Chicago, I jokingly said to you that you stole my band because I was going to audition when they were looking for a singer. I never bothered, and then obviously you ended up becoming the lead singer. But is this like has that disbanded now? Is 10 Reasons done? Is this like
It's just kind of slowed down. Like I remember the story. I remember you telling me in Chicago the story about you stole my gig in that band. But I was talking. I was in the studio last night with Paul from 10 Reasons and their producer Steve Erickson. He produced all the 10 Reasons out, the early stuff, and they're the guys who I'm in TLA with now. And I was telling them about you, Gav, saying, Gav was going to audition for 10 Reasons before I joined, and then he did that. I joined, and he was like, but he told me about it when I seen him in Chicago. You stole my gig. Well, sorry, mate. But yeah, so with 10 Reasons, we done 5 albums. I've done 5 albums. The other singer before me, and it was great. You know, we were gigging, and it was kind of like, but we were all at the age where we had wives, we had kids, we had bills. And one of the drummer in the band's a doctor. He's like an anesthesiologist. His wife's a doctor as well. They all had serious jobs. I was the only like muso, like kind of like gigging around. So they all had proper day jobs, and I was just doing music full time. So it was I wouldn't say we've the band's finished. We've just taken a bit of a breather because we put our last album out, I think it was 2 years ago. But what we do it for the love of it. We're not trying to sell millions of records, but we do it because we love writing songs and we like being in a band together. So that's why we keep doing it. So it's just that the time in between albums is getting longer and longer because we've got responsibilities and family. So
of course,
the Last Arcade was a kind of an offshoot of that. Me and Paul, we go to the studio every Monday, every Thursday religiously, and we write. And it was originally for 10 Reasons stuff, and then slowly but surely it was slowing down. Some of the boys couldn't make it, so me and Paul would just write for ourselves. And we've written written loads of dance stuff. We've written loads of commercial stuff for TV and and movies and radio and stuff. And we've also done a lot of like stuff for ourselves. We've done a country album. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going to put it out, but we've done, you know, we love country music, so we said let's try and write some country music. We love dance music. We've done some dance music. So, but The Last Arcade, it came from Steve Erickson was the producer at the early days, 10 Reasons stuff, and then he retired. He got badly burned by the music business, as a few of us all have been. But he was like, I'm out. I'm not doing it anymore. And Paul always stayed in touch with him. And then when we got BBMAK back together and we'd done that, we were working on the Power Station album, the last BBMAK album. Me and Paul were writing, and we said, let's bring Steve Erickson in to, you know, work on the production of some of the songs. So we got him in, and he just fell in love with music again. I think he took like 10, 15 years out. He sold all his equipment, didn't want anything to do with music. And then all of a sudden he was like, do you know what? I really missed this. So he bought a load of gear again. He was coming down to the studio every Monday and Thursday. We were writing songs for BBMAK for the Power Station album. But we were also writing other stuff that didn't fit for BBMAK. So we just kind of push it off to one side. And then when we finished the Power Station album, I think me, Steve, and Paul co-wrote, I think it was like four songs for the Power Station album. And we were really made up with it. And Mark and Christian, they were buzzing with it. They were so happy. And it was just nice to be doing stuff at home in my own studio with my own mates. And then working with BBMAK on it. But them songs that didn't fit for BBMAK, I turned around and said, do you know what? We should do something with them. We should just start another band. And they were like, really? No. You know, you're too busy with BBMAK. And I said, no. And this was just before COVID. So I think we put our first single out just before, I think it was 2019. The first, Last Arcade, TLA, repping the t-shirt. But so we put that out, and then we were stuck in lockdown. So we were just like sending ideas backwards and forwards remotely. And as soon as we, you know, they opened up and we were allowed to get back in the studio, we were back in there, we were recording, and we done a whole album. What we were doing, though, we were putting single after single out. We weren't like focusing on getting an album out. We were just like, right, let's just put some songs out and see how people, you know, react to them. So it was that was it. Yeah, that was our TLA, The Last Arcade, come about. It was just an offshoot of BBMAK and 10 Reasons.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, I put an EP out with my friend Mikey, who did the same as you were saying before. Was it Steve? Is the other guy that's in
the Erickson? Yeah.
Yeah. So my friend Mike, he took a break from music. He kind of got burned as well, and he was like, I'm done with it. Sold all his equipment, like you said, and then just one day he messaged me and he was like, do you fancy doing a couple of songs? And I was like, yeah, okay. So like we literally started doing a couple of songs, and we came up with an EP, and we didn't know what kind of sound we were going to have. So like we literally called the EP Elements, and it's literally got like there's an R&B song on there, a country song, like a dance song, a ballad, like this. It's all just like a little eclectic mix of different songs.
Yeah, elements of every.
Exactly, yeah. And we just did it for the fun of it. We actually, one track, we managed to get Brad from LFO, of course, on the Pop 2000.
Oh,
so
yeah.
We managed to get him because, like, I know Brad, you know, I wouldn't say dead well, but, like, I've got to know him quite well over the years. And I asked him if he was interested, and he said, yeah. And he wanted to write the rap himself. And we were like, oh, we were going to write something for you, but if you want to write, that's even better. So he wrote a little rap, and he's actually on one of the tracks, which was really fun. But, yeah, I know what you mean about doing it for the love of it. It's that's what it's all about, isn't it? That's when you know.
Exactly, that's it. Because I mean, if I'm honest, I kind of took a break. You know, after BBMAK split up in 2003, I went off to France and recorded a solo album. I was really pleased with it. I had loads of interest from major labels, Atlantic Records in New York flew me over. You know, I had meetings with loads of people, and it was all really positive, and I was like, great, you know. But in my heart, I knew I'm not really a solo artist. If I'm honest, I don't really like being on my own. I like being in a band.
I feel exactly the same way. I can totally relate to that. I feel exactly the same. I don't like being on stage. I like being able to look left and right and seeing two other people, at least two other people.
Seeing your mates, yeah, that's it, exactly. I was recording this album. I'd written this album and recorded it in France. And the producer I worked with, this guy called James Sanger, and he produced the first Keen album. So
Oh, nice.
While I was in France recording with him, Keane went to #1, so he was buzzing. We had a night off the studio and went to pub. but yeah, in my heart, I was like, yeah, the songs sound great, and in the back of my mind, I was thinking, I've got to go out and gig this on my own. So I was a bit like, do you know what? I don't know.
You started to like sink in what was
happening.
I'm
starting thinking, am I good enough on my own? Because I've always played in bands.
Yeah.
And you start questioning yourself and doubting yourself. But yeah, when I realised that, and I was like, that's it. Do you know what? I'm not going to put an album out by myself, but I'm thinking about doing it now. But only because I'm older, and I don't really care.
Well, you're just doing it because you want to do it. It's different now, isn't it?
Exactly.
Like, obviously, when you get past 40, and I feel this now, even though I've just turned 40, your attitude completely flips, and it's just like
it is.
You just do what you want.
It is kind of exactly, yeah. That's it. It's instead of being like young and self-conscious, and will people like me? You get to an age where I don't care if people like me.
Yeah,
I just do it because I love it. I'm writing these songs and singing these songs because for me. If other people listen and like it, that's great. But I'm going to do what I do because I want to do it. Yeah. And if people like it, that's a bonus. That's great. But it's like if I write songs, when I did take a break after going to France and recording an album, it was probably like 9 years where it didn't really. Yeah, probably 8-9 years where it didn't really do anything, and I stopped writing. But I kind of missed it. But I had all these ideas in my head, and it was kind of like your brain's like a hard drive. Unless you empty that hard drive, it just builds up and builds up and then crashes. Yeah. So I had all these ideas, and I was just like, "What do we do? What do we do? I'm gonna have to start writing songs again just to get these ideas out of my head." So I'd write them in this little studio, little spare room, with my gear in, and I just do little demos, and then that's a song done. I can forget about that one, and I've done that with loads of songs. And at that time, I was, what I did do, I didn't quit music completely. I quit like original music, and I got a gig just playing in a bar band, a covers band with my mate. And my mate was he was the drummer in Riverdance on Broadway. And so he had a big time gig. He was an amazing drummer, and he'd just come back from touring with Riverdance, and I'd just finished with BBMAK. And I got in touch with him, and I was talking to him about being the drummer in my solo band. And then when I said, "Listen, I'm not cut out to do it on my own," and he went, "You know what? Let's just get a bar band together, get a gig and just play in the pubs." And then it became like a function band, and we do weddings and birthday parties and playing all the hotels, and then we were playing all the army bases. So I never took a break from music. I just took a break from writing for a while and doing original stuff, but I was always playing. Like every weekend I was out gigging every weekend, and I loved it. That was enough for me to get my fill of music. But yeah, it's one of those things. It's you just got to do it because it's in you to do it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, 100%. So this track Collide that's coming out on Friday, is it coming out this Friday?
Friday, yeah.
Okay, so this episode I'm going to make sure drops on Friday as well. So right at this second, we haven't heard the track, obviously. But how did the track come about? Like, how did the collaboration come about? Because obviously you're the middleman, aren't you? Because you've got both your bands coming together. So
yeah, I've got a foot in both camps. I mean, So what it was again, it was we'd done stuff for the BBMAK Power Station album, and I think we'd had the idea, like a chorus idea for Collide, but it wasn't finished. But it didn't quite. We weren't really sure if it was a BBMAK song, so we kind of pushed it to the side. And then when we done the TLA album and started putting that stuff out, we were like, it's not really a Last Arcade song. So it sat for a while, and then I think we had like a basic demo, some scratch verse lyrics. We had the chorus and a bit of the production idea. Steve Erickson had done production for it. So he said, just play it to BBMAK and see what they think. It could be a BBMAK song. And we played it to Mark and Christian, and they loved it. So we finished writing the song together. Mark and Christian had, because I'd already done my vocals for the choruses. I just had to go back in and do me verses. So Mark and Christian done their stuff, and we just threw harmonies all over it. It sounded amazing. And then we didn't release it. We kind of sat on it for ages, and And then Steve Erickson from The Last Arcade said, "Do you know what? We should put Collide out as a Last Arcade song. See if BBMAK don't want to use it, and we'll put it out under the Last Arcade album." And when I spoke to Mark and Christian about it, they were like, "No, we still love the song." No, they said, but it's been like what? It's probably like 2 years where it was done, but we didn't release it. So I just went back to Steve, and he said, "BBMAK still loved the song, but we love the song." And I just said, "Well, what about if we put it out as a collaboration, because it's the sound of The Last Arcade, but it's the vocals of BBMAK."
Yeah.
Like it kind of, when Mark and Christian put their harmonies on the song, it just took it to a next level. The song was good, but it became great when we had that BBMAK blend, and that's what we always say. That's what we're known for, that the harmony blend. The BBMAK sound, we call it. So when we went in the studio, I'd already put my vocals down, but when Mark and Christian went in the studio and threw their harmonies on and their leads on, and Steve Erickson took it away and mixed it and put a few little finishing touches to it and played it to us, and we were like, "This is awesome, this is awesome." So it because he's done, although it was a demo and we didn't put it out complete. We, over the last month or two, Steve's been putting finishing touches on the mix and the track. The BBMAK harmonies were all there. They've been there for a while, but yeah, it's still exciting because like Mark and Christian are really excited about it, because it's a new song and it's a new sound for BBMAK, because it's a bit more electronic. And The Last Arcade boys, they're buzzing because they've got the full BBMAK harmony sound on the choruses. So it's the best of both worlds for me. I keep all my mates happy because I've been.
Yeah, exactly. It must be weird though, like, because I find that when I'm hanging out with two different kind of friends that aren't friends together, it's like you've got to be two different kinds of people almost. It is strange, but I'm looking forward to hearing it. I really am. It's going to be amazing. Is there a plan to do like a music video or a live performance with both bands or anything like that?
Well, we've done a lyric video. We've worked on that. That's done. So I think the song comes out on Friday, and then we're going to put the lyric video out a week later. But it's just a lyric video. It's hard because Christian lives in America now.
Yes.
I mean, me, Mark, and the Last Arcade boys, we're all in the northwest of England, but getting Christian on a plane to come to Liverpool.
That's the thing. Good
like,
thing with lyric videos as well. Like, that's these days, like, a lot of people care about lyrics, and it's like so handy to have like a little companion where you can go and read, because a lot of the time you're just guessing what the lyrics are. Sometimes it's hard to actually understand what the singer's singing. So that's always a good idea.
Yeah. When my kids are on Spotify, they listen to the song, but they've always got the lyrics going. So like my youngest son, he loves Eminem, and it's hard to keep up with Eminem. So he's got the lyrics and he's following it. So he's like, "Oh, is that what he says?" And it's like, "Yeah, don't be singing that in front of you."
Brilliant. So it sounds like you've got a lot of material there from your different bands. Is there any further plans to do more collaboration?
Do you know what? Everything, we're up for anything. Like, that's like how me and Gav was saying then about how we get to an age where it's kind of like you just kind of do it because you love it. Like the BBMAK lads are the same. So we said if an opportunity comes around to do collaborations with people, we're up for it, because we're not getting any younger.
Why not? Always, you're enjoying it.
It's nice doing new stuff. It's like we just done a TV commercial.
Seen that.
Bumble Bee Tuna.
Yeah,
and it was totally it's totally random. Some the biggest tuna company in America got in touch with our manager and said they've got this idea to rejig BBMAK, the BBMAK Back Here song, but singing about tuna. Would you be up for it? And I was thinking, I'm up for it. Okay, it's something, I was expecting Mark and Chrissy to go, tuna, no chance. But
so you have a 40 attitude.
Loves the gym, loves his tuna, loves his protein. But it was when we heard the song, they'd rewritten the song. One of the the guys from the Bumble Bee Tuna team, and the lyrics were really good, like funny. And he said, we want to shoot it like a TRL video. Like we want to kind of recreate the back of your video, but 25 years later. And we were like, okay, let's see if we can do it. And we went in, we done it in Chicago. We was in the middle of the tour. We were on tour with the Old Town, doing the Pop 2K tour and doing our own BBMAK show. We had to postpone one of the BBMAK shows to go to Chicago to film the TV ad. So we spent one day in the studio re-recording the vocals and putting the guitars down, and then we done the next day shooting the video. And it was like, come on guys, best acting skills. And I was like, you're all right.
Can you remember what you did all that time ago?
Yeah. But it was funny. Do you know what? It was a lot of fun, and it's out all over social media in the US. So we played the show the other day. The other month, and the Pop 2K show, and Piss Kirkpatrick's on stage doing a sound check, and Old Town are there checking their sound, and Brad's, LFO Brad, he's outside the stage, and all of a sudden the sound, and we walk on stage, and the sound engineer just goes, "It's the Tuna guy," and we were like, "Oh yeah, that's us."
That's what you're going to be known as.
Tuna guys. Oh yeah,
that's your new image. Brilliant.
But yeah, no, it was a good laugh, and it's good exposure. It's like it was a lot of fun. It was a big video shoot. They spent a lot of money on it, and the ad campaigns. It's going really well, and they're really happy with it. So yeah, it's all good. So that was like a little
bit of fun, isn't it, as well?
Collaboration.
Yeah,
it was. Yeah, it was a good laugh. It was funny. It was funny in the studio. Really funny. It was a good day.
So now you're part of this Pop 2K tour, which is amazing. And I remember when they were doing that before you guys were involved, and I remember thinking, like, BBMAK are back together. We've been to see them on tour. Why aren't BBMAK doing this? And then the next thing you guys are involved, which I'm so happy that you guys are. I've never seen the Pop 2K tour. I'd love to see it. But what's it like? Yeah. Is it a massive difference, like crowd wise, to when you're doing your own show and when you're doing the Pop 2K? Do you notice much of a difference?
It is, yeah. I mean, obviously, because there's more bands on and there's more variety of music from that era, there's bigger audience. We're playing bigger places. So obviously, we've got Chris. He's hosting the show, but it's Old Town's tour. It was they put it together. I think it was like 7 years ago they put this together. Yeah. And then they brought on Brad, Brad's great. Their set, the show is awesome because it's so slick. They got Ryan Cabrera opening up. Then we go on. We do just like Back Here, Still on Your Side, Ghost You and Me, Out of My Heart, and a couple of the album tracks. So just giving them the old BBMAK hits, and that's what Ryan does. He gives them their hits and a few of his new stuff. Old Town come on. The show's great. They such lovely guys. But it's funny you're saying the tour's been around a while, but Jacob from Old Town, he was like, we've been trying to get you on this tour for the last 5 years. When we heard you were back together, we were like, get BBMAK on the tour. And I remember our manager getting in touch with us saying, there's this Pop tour, Pop 2000. He said, but you've got your own shows at the minute. The schedules don't work. And we were like, we said, we're up for it. If the calendars work out, we can do it. So, but it's so much fun, and then Old Town do their set, and then Brad goes on and they do an LFO set, honouring Rich and Devon, which is awesome. It's great hearing them songs every night. Sing on.
I've honestly, I've loved you guys. You guys in LFO. I still am a massive fan back in the day when I was in my boy band, and the inspiration I took from both of you guys and LFO. Amazing, especially I don't know if you're familiar with Devon's voice, but that guy could sing. He was amazing. His vocal ability was incredible.
I was talking to Brad about it because one of the shows I was saying I was on the phone yesterday just listening to some of your old videos and there was some live stuff of Devon singing and I just said to him, Brad, what a voice, and he got a little bit choked up because Devon was his best mate. Yeah. And I felt bad because I'd upset him. And then he said, I'm not upset. I'm just happy that people are remembering how good he was. Because I remember Devon back in the day when we used to play shows with them on tour in America. and we just stand at the side of the stage and we're just like, oh my God, that guy is awesome. But
Yeah.
they were all awesome, you know what I mean? Like, Rich
Yeah.
was an awesome rapper. It's just
Yeah, he
so
was, yeah.
sad, but it's great to see them songs being played every night, and it's great to be part of it with Brad. But yeah, the tour's awesome, and then obviously Chris, he's the host, but he comes on and does that NSYNC set at the end,
Yeah,
and just
brilliant.
takes the roof off the place every night. But the audience are great, like you said. The audiences are very mixed at the Pop 2K, because you're getting people who are hardcore LFO, hardcore NSYNC, hardcore BBMAK, hardcore Ryan Cabrera, hardcore O-Town. But you kind of win them over.
Yeah,
when
course,
we done our first show, everyone was kind of like, you could see the O-Town fans and
what's going
the
on here?
you know, the LFO fans like, BBMAK, we know your songs, but you know, they kind of yeah, it's kind of like, what are these three English lads doing? You know, but it was great because the fans are lovely. We kind of won them over because, you know, we just love being on stage, and we really appreciate people coming out to see us. And they said a lot of the people who came to the VIPs and to the selfies and stuff, they'd say, you can see how much you appreciate being on the tour and how much you like the other guys and how much you appreciate the audience, because we do. You know, we took a 15-year break, and when we got back together, we were like, is anyone gonna care that BBMAK are back together?
Yeah,
and that's it. So, but yeah, people are coming out to the shows, and it's going great. So yeah, no, it's really exciting time for us. You know, it's great to be able to do it all again.
We did try to get to one, but our flight got cancelled from Boston, and we were devastated.
Last year, right? We had tickets booked. It was for June last year. She flew over here to stay with me, and my wife was like, "You guys go," because she had the kids, and we booked tickets to come to the show. We had tickets booked. I'd spoke to Mark, who I'm quite pally with, and Mark was like, "I'll get you on the guest list." So Mark said, "Who's coming with you?" I said, "It's me and Kelly and a friend of ours, Steph." So he put all the names down on the list, and I spoke to Brad, and he was like, "I want to meet you," because I've never met him before in person. So I had a little bit of time set up to meet him as well. I was so geared up for it. So was Kelly, and then we got up in the morning, and our flight had been cancelled, and it was the show was that night. And there was no way for us to get there. We were absolutely
should have booked
devastated.
it the day before, really, shouldn't we? But
we should.
Do you know what did cheer us up, Steve? When we kept on seeing things on social media, was like, oh, and then we've seen all the older women enjoying the fact that you three boys were on there.
Oh, do you know what? I remember Mark telling us that you were coming. Yeah, it's like, Gav's coming with Kelly, because we'd seen you in Chicago.
Yeah.
When was it? 2018,
2019, I think it was. Yeah, it was around that time. Yeah.
And obviously there's the Liverpool connection, you know, like we're all from the same place.
We were so gutted, honestly.
Well, that's it. Mark was saying Gav's not going to make it. His flight's been cancelled. I was like, oh, no way. Yeah. But it's a shame, because I didn't know. Obviously, you've done the song with Brad, but I didn't know you hadn't met him. So it was all done remotely. He just done the rap and recorded it.
All done. I'll have to send you the link. I'll send you the link via Facebook, and you can have a listen to it. It's a good track. It's a good song, yeah. But hopefully, if you guys do the Pop 2000 again next year, I don't know what your plans are. We're going to try and come out and see you, see if we can.
Yeah, definitely. That's what we said. We said to the lads, because we have such a great time. It is like on the last night, there was a video posted, and we were sharing the dressing room with Chris Kirkpatrick, and O-Town were on they do like a couple of medleys, and they were doing it right in the middle of Uptown Funk, and Chris just goes, "Guys, we should go on and dance behind them." And I was like, "Joking? BBMAK do not dance. That's why we play guitar, because we can't dance." I said, "Do you know what we can do?"
Talking of not dancing, though, there was one, just going back to what Kelly was saying there about we were cheered up by watching videos of the old women. There's one video, and I don't know where it is, but somebody was filming from the audience, and the comments they were all pining over Mark, and he were like,
"Yeah, he's
lovely, isn't he?" And there's this one bit, like he's got, I don't know if he had a drink in his hand or his maraca thing, but he's like, he's dancing like this, and his muscles are like bulging out of his shirt. And the women were buzzing off him, and Kelly was like, "Look at this," and we couldn't stop giggling. Like,
we were laughing, it was funny.
He does. He gets some stick for his shaker, Mark. He's got that big silver shaker and massive arms of this.
It's just to work out who's doing it on stage.
Yeah, you get people in the audience with water bottles or Pringles, tubes like that.
Yeah,
sticking the out of him. He's like,
I said to Kelly, I said, see that there? I said, that'll weigh a bloody ton. That thing he's got there doing that.
Oh yeah, it's massive. Honestly, it's like a big metal cube, and it's heavy. And he's there, like that's why his arms are so huge.
Was he like, you two are playing guitar, I'm gonna find something, and then he brought this out?
Yeah.
And you were like, oh, go on then.
No, and that's it. Mark gets to do his little dance moves. I'm like, I'm happy standing behind the guitar. That's why when Chris said let's go out and dance, I was like, no chance. I'll tell you what we can do. We can do like the Genesis walk across the stage.
Yeah.
I can walk in time, but I'm not dancing. But yeah, it was a good laugh. The lads on the tour, all of them, Brad, the Old Town Boys, Chris is lovely, Ryan's a lovely guy, and all their families. It's nice because they bring their families on tour. It's harder for us because obviously we're in the UK. So
yeah.
They were saying the only time we do tours is when you guys come out, because they put a load of dates together because we fly over and we do. I think we've done. On the last run, I think we've done like 20 shows. So I think it was like 16 top 2K shows and a few of our own, or something like that. It was a mix of like BBMAK and it was rammed. It was rammed for us. We had one day off.
Wow.
And obviously on our day off, me and Mark went to the gym. It's not else to do. It's good though. Going on tour, it keeps you fit, man. Because when we go, it's like there's nothing to do. In the morning you get up, just go to the gym. Because you wake up in a hotel room in the middle of nowhere, and you're just like, what can I do? I don't know where I am. You don't know where the shops are. Let's just go to the gym. So we go to the gym. It's good for me because I've got to stand next to Mark with those big arms. So it's me and she.
So when you're on tour, what's your favourite song to perform?
I mean, obviously, I love Back Here because that's the song everyone knows us for. But I suppose the boys would always all say different songs. So when we do our own BBMAK headline shows, we do a longer set. When we do the Pop 2K shows, it's I think it's like a 35-minute set. So it's like the BBMAK hits and a couple of the big album tracks. But when we do our own shows, we can do songs off all the albums. And for me, I love Unpredictable. I just love the guitar. I love playing all the guitar parts on that. And I love Out of My Heart, the solo on that.
Yeah, brilliant.
But Mark and Christian, I think Mark he always goes on about I Can Tell. That's it. I was thinking of it. I was thinking of Robin Thicke. Robin Thicke wrote I Can Tell. So I Can Tell, and Christian loves Uncivil War. So,
that's a great song. Yeah,
a lot of people love that one, and they put it in the Pop 2K set, and we're like, none of the Old Town fans will know it. None of the Chris Kirkpatrick fans will know it. It's just anyone who's like hardcore into BBMAK will know them songs.
Yeah.
Yes, but we don't want to force our album tracks on people who aren't really bothered. But because it is, I've been to gigs where hits by the band, and then the first half an hour's a load of songs you've never heard, and I'm just like, play some hits, play some hits,
the classics. So who decides who does what part when you're doing your BBMAK arrangements?
The vocal arrangements, it's always been this way. There's no rules. And it's always worked out really well for us because we've always switched it up, like on like Sympathy, let's say. I sing the really high harmony on the choruses. I think Christian sings the lead, Mark sings the low. On Out of My Heart, I sing the lead, Mark sings the high, Christian sings the low. So we kind of test it in the studio. Or also when we're writing the songs, when we write, as soon as we've got lyrics, we'll run through choruses, and we'll kind of find where vocally we want to go. Oh, I want to go high on this one, or Mark will go, I want to do the lead on this one. So we kind of trust the process that there's no rules for us to find the blend. it's not like, you know, Mark, you sing all the high, Christian, you sing all the low, you sing all the lead. There's no rules for it, which has been great for us because it's always kept us vocally sharp. Because, you know, when you're singing the lead on a song, you've got to be bang on because everyone's following you with the harmonies. If you're out, they're going to be out.
That's it. Yeah.
But that's always been our method. There's just whatever works. There's no format. You know, who sings high, who sings low, who sings lead. We always mix it up on pretty much everything. So
well, all three of you are vocally strong enough to do that as well. It's not like, oh, you know, Mark's got a baritone voice, so he's always going to do the low stuff. It's like you're all flexible. You're all able to do it vocally. So it makes sense that you would switch it up.
Yeah. No, it's been it's good. And what's good as well is the voices together sound like one voice, but when you hear us individually, we sound completely different.
Yeah.
Like Christian's got like the kind of like Mark's got a very like breathy, soft, falsetto-y. My voice is it's gotten a lot harder as I've gotten older. I think it's probably singing in like 10 reasons.
You've got a hell of a range on you though. You've got a hell of a range though.
Yeah.
Oh mate, I was in the studio last night. One of the notes I hit last night, there was dogs howling in the flat next door.
Brilliant.
Honest to God, the notes. I was like, "You're going? Do you think you're going to get that note today?" And I was like, "I'll get it.
Yeah, because even that, the key change in Still on Your Side always used to get me when I was younger because I try and hit the notes. Yeah. I can do it now, but I can never do it when I was younger because it really does go up there when that key change kicks in.
Honestly, it's mate. When I was singing that song when I was like 21, I was like, oh, a piece of cake. I didn't think about being 40 and trying to sing that key change. Just thinking, oh God, you're sweating, thinking, oh, the key change is coming, and we're gonna hit it. But you know what? It's been all right. We've kind of nailed it. But it is them songs. The BBMAK stuff gets harder and harder the older you get.
Oh yeah.
So when we see you looking worried, we're like, oh, he might not
see the panic on my face, and when we get to the middle eight on I Can Tell, you can see the panic on my face. Like, just finished the solo and I've got to hit this high note. But yeah.
Something I've always admired about you is that you are unapologetically Scouse. So like, I and this is coming from somebody that I live in North America. So like, I dumb down my accent because otherwise people can't understand me. But you don't do that. You're, at least to me anyway, you are just, all right, mate. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter who you're talking to.
Yeah.
So do you ever, is it a struggle sometimes when you're meeting fans and you're meeting other, you know, Americans, if you like? Do they understand what you're saying?
Well, yeah. Well, I know what you're saying because sometimes I do have to slow down because, you know, proper Scousers speak really fast, you know, and only Scousers can understand Scousers. But yeah, when I first went to America, I remember going to like, I just went into like McDonald's or somewhere, and I just went, "Hey mate, can I have a portion of chips and a burger?" And the guy went, "Huh? a burger?" And I was just like,
burger,
"Oh, sorry,
yeah. It's
some fries and a burger." But it's funny because my older brother, he's lived in America for over 30 years. He's lived in Southern Illinois.
Mike, you're talking about Mike.
Oh, he's got the accent already, hasn't he?
We love Mike. Oh, Mike was there when we came to see you.
He was there, yeah. So when I see him, like the first 5 minutes, he's like, "Hey Steve, how's it going?" And I was like,
yeah, he told us that. He said you all take the piss out of him.
I did,
we do. Because like he's a Scouser, you know what I mean? I think now he's lived in America longer than he lived in the UK. So I'll give him that. He's spent more time in America than he has in Liverpool. But it's funny though because he was home. I was on tour. I'd done the last tour, and my brother was home. Come over to visit my mum and dad, and so he came over with his family, and then he come off the plane. He's like, "Hey Steve," and like literally after half an hour, he just sounds like me.
Yeah, back into
and
it.
And his kids looking at him going, "Who's this guy?" And that's your dad. That's what he really sounds like.
No, we were quite shocked by his accent. I was like, "Hang on a minute."
I know, yeah, it is.
Got that accent.
I know, yeah. He looks like Jack Black. He sounds like Jack Black. Yeah.
So it
is one of those things. like you're saying, Gav, I can't change how I speak. You know, I'll slow it down for people who don't understand me. And we had like media training back in the day when we got signed to the record label, and like, you're really gonna have to slow down how you're doing interviews. Like, I'll try, but it is what it is.
Even the name you decided to go with, Steve, that's like not a name that would be used over there because they don't shorten names. So even Steve, I'm sure some people are like, "Where's that come from?"
Exactly,
Steve?
yeah. We went on we done Jay Leno back in the day, and we went on we've done our performance back here, and then went on the couch and done the interview with him. And the first thing out of his mouth went, "Which one's Steve? What's the Steve business?" And I was like, it's short for Stephen. It's just like your name's Jay, short for James. And he went, okay, I'll take that. So on the last tour, some girl who'd been a fan of ours for forever thought my name was Stu.
Brilliant.
Stu. I had some girls shouting Stu, and I was like, "Who's Stu?" I'm looking around for Stu. You Stu? And they're going, and she come over to me and Stu, and I'm like, "I'm not Stu, I'm Steve." And she's like, "Oh, is that what your name is?" Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So it's just saying we can see all the belts in the background. So tell us a bit about the martial arts. We're quite shocked. You've won like a lot of things recently.
Yeah, I'm retired now. It's funny because a year ago today was my last fight.
Wasn't it? Yeah, that's right. That was my next question as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I posted. Yeah, and it was a post came up this morning from a guy who I thought he was like the #1 American fighter. This guy called Ty Garrett. He's an absolute beast. And what I fought him, he was my last fight ever, and he beat me. But he beat me because he's an amazing fighter. And he posted a picture of him winning a Muay Thai world title. And he threw this kick at the last round it was the last kick of the last 5 seconds of the round, and he knocked this guy out and won the title. And I sent him a message saying, "You threw that same kick at me in the last 5 seconds of the first round in our fight." And I sent him a video of it, and he went, "I know, I did remember throwing that one at you." But it was cool because when we were on tour with Old Town, we done the spring shows this year. Was it this year? Yeah, it was this year. The spring shows we played in Texas, and Ty Garrett's from Texas, so I just messaged him saying, "Hi Ty, it's Steve. You know, I don't even remember punching him, kicking me in the face, last year, but I'm in a band and I'm playing in Texas. We got a few shows in Texas. If you're around, come to the show." And he came to the show. Aww. And Chris Kirkpatrick said, "I want to meet this Ty Garrett. I want to meet that guy who kicked your ass." And I was like, "Oh, nice one, Chris. Thanks for the support, brother." But so Ty came to the show, and we had a few beers and a few laughs, and we were talking about fighting. And do you know what? It was lovely. He's such a lovely guy. But it's like you're saying, like the belts and all that. For me, I've always trained. I started martial arts when I done Muay Thai. I started Muay Thai when I was about 13. But I've done like karate and jiu-jitsu, and so I've trained for over 30 years. And I fought a bit when I was a kid, and then the band, I was like, I want to take my music seriously. When I was a kid, I wanted to be the next Jean-Claude Van Damme, but I'm just not that good looking or that flexible. But so I kind of took a break. I trained for years, had a couple of fights as a kid, and then the band took off. So when the band split, the first thing I did was go back to training. Because our record label, you can't fight, you can't train. If you break your nose, if you do this, if you black eyes and all that.
Yeah, of course.
Say okay, so I took a break, and then when me and my wife started a family, when my eldest son was 4, I was like, right, he's going to martial arts, because I'd already gone back to training, and my wife's like, "Oh, he's not going to Muay Thai. I've seen your fight." In my first Muay Thai fight, I got my ribs broke when I was 14. Lad just kneed me in the ribs, broke my ribs. So she's like, he's not going to Muay Thai. And a friend of mine, this guy called Brendan Mitty, he's a multiple, he's like 3-time world heavyweight kickboxing champion. He said, Brendan's got a gym, so I'll take them there. So I took my eldest son there, and shortly after, it was pretty much 2 classes, and Brendan was like, "Stay, any chance you can help out in the classes?" So I was like, "Yeah, okay." So it got me back into it. I started training again, and I got my black belt when I was like 34, I think 34. So I've been a black belt 10 years now. I got my second dan, when I was just before I turned 40. So my kids now, both my kids are black belts, and they both fought.
That's amazing. Wow.
But for me, what it was when my kids were young, my wife was like, "I don't want you fighting. I don't want you to fight." And it's a genuine, concern, because bad things can happen. You're punching and kicking people in the face and in the head. It's not. People have died from it. It's really sad. But a kid a month ago, a 15-year-old lad from one of the other clubs in Liverpool, straight after a fight, he collapsed and he died. So it's a contact sport. You are getting kicked and punched in the face, and as a parent, it's hard to watch your kids do that.
Yeah.
But like I've always said, I'll never push my kids into a fight. If you want to go and fight at a tournament, I'll take you, and I'll be in your corner and I'll tell you what to do. But I'm never going to go, "You will fight," because I know what it's like to stand there looking at someone who wants to kick you and punch you in the face and take your head off, and it's scary. I've never gone into a fight thinking, I'm rock hard, I'm gonna do this guy in. I've never thought that. I've always gone in thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna have a fight now. What am I doing? What am I doing to myself? But it's kind of like I said to myself, when after I turned 40, I was a bit like, do you know what? I thought about it for a couple of years, and it wasn't until I was 44. I was like, do you know what? I'm going to give myself a year. I spoke to my wife, said, listen, kids are older now. I want to train, get myself in the best shape I've ever been, and fight. I just want to win one title. If it's like a regional title, a Northwest title, whatever. I just want to be able to say, I've put the work in, and I won something. I've got something to show for 30 years of work, training and stuff. And so I think I probably had over 50 fights, and some I've lost, some I've won more than I've lost, but it was hard getting back into it. I lost the first few fights. I won a couple after that, and then the flip for me was I fought this guy from Cyprus, and he came over, and God, I was looking at him in the corner warming up, and I was thinking, oh, this guy's gonna kill me. He looked like he wanted to. He just looked like he wanted to kill me. He had shaved head, beard, covered in tattoos, like giving it Mike Tyson in the corner. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this is not going to end well for me. And then I got in. I thought, do you know what? You got your students there. My coach Brendan, he was behind me. Said, listen, it's just another fight today. And I was like, yeah, I think I worked myself up into I was a little bit nervous, but it's good though. Nerves are good in a fight because they make you faster, they make you move. And if you don't want to get hit in a fight, just move out the way. It's that simple. So I fought this guy in the first round, and he come straight out and went bang and hit me, and I was like, didn't really hit. And I was a bit like, okay. So I carried on with the fight, and then I hit him and knocked him down. I was like, ooh. And then he got up, he got a standing count, and then he got up again, and I jabbed him, and he spun around, and I was a bit like, okay. So I'm obviously hitting him harder than he's hitting me. And then he came out, and he just dropped his guard, and I just saw his side of his head, and he went bang, and I knocked him clean out. And I was like, I've never knocked anyone out before. I mean, not in a tournament. I've done it in the street years and years and years ago. But that was a bar fight. I was protecting myself.
That's different.
But yeah, I was a bit like, do you know what? I could do this. It gave me a little bit of confidence knowing that there was a guy who looked 10 times harder than me and looked like he wanted to kill me. And I was like, kind of like a bit nervous, looked like a deer in the headlights. But I got through it, and I just listened to my coach and just believed in my skills, and I ended up winning easily. I knocked him out in the first round. So that was my first title I won the High Peaks, the Yorkshire Lake District, all the High Peaks champion. I was the High Peaks champion. I won 2 titles that day, so double High Peaks champion, and I was like, okay, I can do this. And so I done from that. I fought. I won a British title, the WKU British title, and then I won the WKO European title, and then I won. And then I said to myself, I've won these, so I might as well go all the way and enter the World Championships. So we entered the WKO World Championships, and I entered 5 different categories, different weight categories and all kinds. And I looked at me draw. Everyone I was fighting was a world champion. Everyone I was fighting was like a multiple, like a 5th Dan. Every one of them was a multiple world champion. And I was like, I'm like the Northwest champion. And I was like, oh, what am I doing? But you know what? I went in there. I trained my ass off because I was on tour last year, and Mark was training me while we were on tour. I was in the gym every single day. I was running every day. I was stretching every day. Mark had me on the pads every day, so he really helped me moving around. And then I came back, and I think I landed on the. I think we landed from the tour on Thursday. I trained on the Friday. I took a break on the Saturday, and I fought on the Sunday. And he ended up, I beat 3 of the world champions and took their titles. So I won 3 world titles, and then I fought that American guy. And he was my last fight, and he beat me. But it was a good fight. It was a really good fight.
Yeah,
great experience for me. And then I thought to myself, and then I finished the year in the WKO. If you're ranking, if you finish ranked at the top of your weight category, you win another title. So I won 2 World Grand Prix ranking titles. So in total, I've got 10 titles.
That's incredible, man.
Which I'm dead proud of. And that's it. I kind of like,
you should be.
When I finished that last fight against Tiger, I was like, I've done more than I ever dreamed. I as a kid, when I was training, I dreamed about being a world champion. Dreamed about being a champion, being a Northwest champion, being a regional champion. Like, but to get all them belts, I've got the full collection. Northwest, British, European, world. It's like I kind of pushing me luck here. You know what I mean? Someone's what
a way to retire, though. To retire a world champion. I mean, you can't ask for more than that, can you?
Yeah. Well, that's it, and it's hard. I'm 46 now. I still train and stuff. I was training before. I was in the gym 2 hours before this. I was in the gym with my kids and teaching their classes, doing a bit of moving around. And it's hard. Sparring's hard. When you're sparring a 20-year-old lad, and I'm 46, I'm not as fast. I'm not. I'm gonna get it. So I've split my eye, I broke my ribs, I broke my hands, I broke my thumbs, broke my toes, cut my eyes, I've my nose. The American guy, I don't know if you can see, I've got like a little bump on the side of me nose. That's him. He just kept punching me in the jabbing me, bam, bam, bam. Normally people do double jab and move, or double jab straight. He done like quadruple jabs. You just kept going, punch, and I'm like, bam, 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 bam. Like, all right. But yeah, so my face is a little bit battle scarred, but I'm doing all right.
No, that's impressive.
Before we let you go, we've got a little lyric game to play with you. Are you all right if we play that really quick?
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So this is where we're just going to read out some song lyrics that they're your songs, basically. So they might be Last Arcade songs, they might be BBMAK songs.
Right. Oh,
and we're just going to read them out, and you've just got to guess what song it is. That's all. It's very simple. But I will tell you, it's hard.
Last Arcade, BBMAK. Oh,
I'm not going to tell you. No, I'm not going to tell you.
12 albums.
You've got to figure that out. This is not going to be easy. It's not. I'll tell you that right now. Okay. So I'll ask the first one, and then Kelly can go next. Okay. So the first one is, and when the knives come out, there will be hell to pay.
That's Last Arcade.
What's the song?
People Like Us.
Correct. You got 1 point. Brilliant. Okay, go on, Cal.
Raising my glass, I sing a toast to the midnight sky. I wonder why.
Ghost You and Me, BBMAK.
Brilliant. He's good at this, isn't he? We're going to get him now.
They're not even my lyrics. They're Christian's lyrics.
Okay. And here I can see why I need her close to me. See, that's quite vague, isn't it?
She's Everything, BBMAK.
Oh, he's got it.
Is it?
He's got it.
They're my lyrics. I remember them. Yeah,
okay.
That's my line. I can see why close to me. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Go Go on, Cal.
Could it be something that I never knew? All these questions run around my head. Have we got him?
Play the countdown music.
Is it BBMAK?
No.
No.
Read him again, Cal. Read him again.
Could it be something that I never knew? All these questions run around my head.
Can you sing it? I'm joking.
You probably can't because I gave it all these.
Could it be something I never knew? Or... Oh, it's Last Arcade, isn't it?
Yeah, but you can't have it unless you give us the name. He's just going to name all the singles now.
It's I never knew. It's I've got to sing the song from the start. Yeah. Is it Miss You?
Yes, it is.
Correct. Right, I'm going to try and throw you off now with this next one. It's okay. It's not the Tuna song, so I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, right.
Okay, here we go. It's almost like a distant dream, hard to grasp, but is it all so real? It's almost like a distant dream, hard to grasp, but is it also real?
It's is that 10 Reasons?
It is.
Breathe.
It is. Breathe. That's my favorite one. That's my favorite 10 Reasons song. That's the song I learned because it was the other singer that sang the original version.
Yeah.
I learned that song, and that's the song I was going to audition with, and then I just left it. Didn't bother. I left it for you.
Well, that was. Well, I probably the same time. When I spoke to Paul, he's like, listen to the songs. Back then, it was MySpace, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Check out on MySpace.
Oh God, MySpace.
I had to rip it off MySpace.
To Breathe on MySpace. Yeah, I listened to Breathe on MySpace. So it was probably about exactly the same time, Gav. That me and you were like, yeah.
You probably auditioned with the same song.
Probably.
And we're going to end with an easy one. So put down
then.
all your guns because I'm calling a truce right now.
That's
That's your line.
Uncivil War.
Correct.
Yeah.
Do you know what you did? I didn't think you were going to any of them. I honestly didn't, because we played. I don't know if you're familiar with Tony Luca, but we played this game.
Yeah.
So we played this with Tony Luca, and I dug out a load of his old songs. He didn't get one of them. He didn't get any of them.
Wow.
Yeah, and he wrote every single lyric.
Yeah, a bit of a ropey start on Miss You, saying, "Is that a BBMAK song?" But yeah,
that's the only one.
Full
really,
mark.
You still got it.
Yeah,
you got all the points. Yeah.
All right, listen, Steve, we're going to let you go, mate. You've given us way more time than we expected, so it's just thank you very much, man. It's been wonderful.
No, mate. Listen, I'm sorry it took 4 years. That's how slow I am with my emails and my messages.
It's all right. We got you in the end.
Thanks for having me on, and it's been a pleasure. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and the single, The Collide, is out on Friday, which is, what date is that?
Yeah, the 9th, is it?
The 9th.
8th to 9th, is it?
We're hopeless, aren't we?
Friday.
It's out this Friday anyway, so yeah, we can't wait to hear it, and I'm sure it's going to be a big hit.
9th, yeah.
The 9th, yeah. There we go.
And hopefully we'll get out to a show next year.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we get to see you next year. That'll be lovely.
Definitely, yeah. Come and see the show. Come and meet Brad. Brad's such a lovely guy.
I've got to, mate. I've got to. Defo.
Yeah.
All right, mate. Will you take it easy and have a nice evening?
And you take it easy, nice one.
Cheers, Steve.
See you later.
Bye.